Hi everybody and welcome back. I am Suzanne Lyons and this is tip number 2. As I promised you, I'm so excited. I've got a very dear friend for, oh my gosh, so many years I'm scared to say. A lot of years, many years. Barbara Doust, as I promised you, she is here this week, and I've got some great guests coming over these 10-tip series, and Barbara is just phenomenal, and that her company really does focus a lot on this aspect of stress. Her company is called Soul Notes. She's a speaker, an author, and I'll have her tell you about her book, and also a transformational coach. And she helps people really with releasing their limited belief systems, as well as the sabotaging patterns that we have, so that you can move forward with your professional and personal life. And a lot of that has to do with the kind of stresses that we take on in life, I'm sure, Barbara.
Absolutely.
And what she's going to talk about today is that the importance of a couple of great tools, actually, 2 of my favorite, visualization, which I think is just essential, and meditation, which I've mentioned many times over all my tips. I'm a big believer in that. It's something I used to laugh at years ago, and then I started doing it, and my gosh, it is transformational in and of itself. Just that one distinction alone, one tool alone. So I'm just going to hand it over to Barbara and have her share about how those things can help in that stress reduction. Okay.
Absolutely, and thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's
You're
a pleasure,
welcome.
really. The thing about meditation, and again, a lot of people don't take it seriously. So first I want people to understand that what you focus on expands. And so if you're focused on negativity in your life, you will be bringing more negativity into your life. If you focus on more positive thoughts in your life, you will start to raise your frequency, so to speak.
Okay.
And then meditation is a tool, and there are a lot of tools to reduce stress, and it's just fantastic for reducing stress if you allow yourself to practice. And most people will say they don't know how to meditate.
And they don't have, and also the other thing I hear is I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm too busy. So how can I take that 15 minutes or whatever? How much time, Barbara? I mean, really, could I take 2 minutes, and would that be beneficial?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. And it's best to do meditation before you go to bed at night,
Oh,
because
okay.
you're in your alpha state. And when you're in your alpha state,
I'm going to take notes.
that's when it goes into the subconscious mind. And you want the messaging to go to your subconscious mind, because then that's where it's going to start affirming the truth rather than your limitations, rather than old beliefs. So you want to do it before you go to bed, at least 30 minutes before.
Okay.
Or 30 minutes in the morning when you wake up. Again, you're in your alpha state.
Oh.
And this is where the messages, positive affirmations, new belief systems that you want to develop, new patterns that you want to develop, that's the time to do it. It's the best time to do it. Because then your conscious mind is not putting up the filters.
Got it. Or I'm not so much beating myself up and all the things I can't do today and what I shouldn't do today and what I don't know how to do. So I'm not there yet.
Exactly. And then you want to, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, practice. Start practicing with 2 minutes. Then go into 3 minutes. See, what's comfortable for you. But the main thing when you start meditating is people say that their monkey mind activates.
That's what I was just going to ask you about. It's like so many thoughts come in my head. I'm thinking, am I even meditating?
Right.
How am I going to stop those? Do I have to stop the thoughts?
No. Basically, again, it's practicing, because meditation is about thinking one thought. So it's like a mantra that you'd say over and over and over again, like Om. Or you visualize a candle, so that you just keep the focus. And what meditation does, it silences the monkey mind.
Okay.
But it takes practice to do that, you see. And as it silences the monkey mind, then you start to gain more focus. When you get more focused, you gain more clarity. When you gain more clarity, then you can start to design your life and let the monkey mind, let the thoughts that aren't serving you, you can put them in a pink bubble and let them float away. It's awareness. What we do most of the time is we identify with our minds. And we identify with our monkey minds.
Got it.
And our conscious minds want to keep working to prove that they exist.
Right.
We exist. Our mind exists.
Got
and it will
it.
constantly be working for us
Yeah.
in a state of struggle.
Got it.
You see, because
so
it wants to
resistance.
it's
Oh,
resistance.
so if I'm meditating, then I'm releasing that resistance in a sense.
Exactly. So then you can
Got
bring
it.
some more inner peace
Got
and
it.
put yourself in a state of confidence.
Got
You can
it.
increase your self-esteem, and you can also be open to getting messages, more clarity. The universe responds to clarity with clarity,
Got it.
confusion with confusion.
Makes sense when you're saying it.
Yeah.
But we don't usually think about that because we're so busy having thoughts.
Exactly.
Does that make
exactly.
sense?
And we're identifying with those thoughts.
Yeah.
You see, instead of just allowing the thoughts to enter and release them and put them in a bubble, let them float away. Because here's the thing, Suzanne. This is what, when I learned this, it was amazing to me that we have over 50,000 random thoughts that come through our minds every day.
50,000?
Over.
Over 50,000.
Okay?
Oh
And between 75 and about 95% of those thoughts are negative.
Really?
So we have to get smarter than our brains, so to speak.
It's amazing we get anything done.
We're on autopilot. Most of the time we're on autopilot. And what happens is that our thoughts
Yeah.
lead to our feelings.
Got it.
Our feelings lead to our actions. And our actions lead to our outcomes.
Oh my God.
So what we're doing more often than not is we're on autopilot
Yeah.
because we're not conscious. So meditation is just a practice to become more conscious.
Got it.
You see?
Yeah.
To be a witness, to be an observer.
Right.
So when we're in a state of panic and we're in a state of stress, that's our ego mind creating a jungle because the ego mind hasn't developed since caveman days.
Got it.
And the ego mind wants to also feel like it has a place and a
Yeah,
purpose, right? So it's
yeah.
going to keep working.
Yeah.
And stress in this day and age is really the jungle where there are dangerous tigers.
Huh.
And it needs to be working and kick
I get
into
it.
creating
Yeah.
its need, its purpose.
Yeah.
So when you meditate,
Yeah.
you get to be a witness. You get to be the observer. You get to grow a little bit more conscious. And you go, that's an interesting thought. And then it's either, after you can process and go, is that thought true? Is that 100% accurate? Am I really a loser?
Right.
Whose belief is that? Is that my belief?
Right.
Where did I develop that belief?
Yeah.
And then it becomes more of a process of deepening into your truth.
I get it, because really beliefs are just habitual thoughts. And if I'm having my thought over and over and over again and not being conscious of that thought, eventually that comes a belief, and then I think my belief is true.
Exactly.
I hear people talking about things that it's like they're nailed in stone, and I'm going, but it was just a thought over and over and over again that you had,
Right,
Right. So it's actually amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And
So,
sometimes
yeah.
we think we consider facts.
Yeah.
But the facts aren't always the facts.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like with
exactly.
Onassis in
Right.
the shipping industry.
Right.
When everybody thought that the shipping industry was, going south, dying, it wasn't ever going to exist.
Right.
Those were the facts, right? The reality was that, things weren't selling or the shipping industry was really starting to fail.
Right.
But he didn't take the facts as truth.
Interesting.
So what he did was he bought up every boat that he could for wholesale price.
My God.
And created a shipping capital that made him the wealthiest man in the world.
Wow.
Because he didn't look at the facts.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, that's somebody who was actually thinking versus just having thoughts.
It was somebody who had vision.
And vision, yeah, but then he had the space to create and have the vision, because
Yes.
I get it, I get it.
And most of us are on our radar screen.
Yeah.
It can only happen this way.
Yeah.
It can't happen off the radar screen.
Right.
But when you start to allow, and that's what meditation will do for you, it silences the mind. It helps you become more focused, more alert. And when you're alert, you're conscious. When you're more conscious,
Right.
you start to choose what's going to serve you rather than letting the old belief systems sabotage you that you're not even aware of.
Got it. This is brilliant. Now, how does visualization play a part in this? Is this part of the meditation that you're suggesting, or is this is it part of or is it a separate kind of tool and technique in a sense?
It's a separate tool and a separate technique.
Got it.
But most people want to, it's easier for them to visualize than it is
Yeah.
to meditate because,
Got
again,
it.
meditation takes practice to where you're singular in thought.
Got
but
it.
again, I can't stress enough that the more focused you are in your thinking,
Yeah.
the more you will manifest. Because again, you start to direct your thought and the universe can come in
Right.
and match
Yeah.
the thought. You're preparing your future by
Got
the
it.
thoughts you're having now.
Brilliant.
You see, whereas visualization is a technique that helps us get into the feeling place.
Okay.
And so what that does is the subconscious mind doesn't know how to rationalize.
Yeah.
So it accepts whatever you give it as the truth.
Got it.
Right? There's no right or wrong.
Right.
So when you're saying, I am a moron, I'm inadequate, I'm not enough,
right,
the subconscious mind is hearing that as the truth. And so with visualization, when you can start to see yourself on a beach relaxing,
got it,
and allow yourself to hear the waves and start breathing with the waves of the ocean.
Right.
And that starts because our stress and our anxiety is created by our thoughts. Our thoughts lead to our feelings. And a lot of the time, and I'll be talking about this a little bit more later, a lot of the time we don't even question our feelings. We're anxious, we're worried, we're pre-paving our future because more worry gets more worry gets more worry. And until we question, well, what is the feeling telling me here?
Right.
You know, I'm holding on to a thought that's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What can I do to change this thought?
Right.
And visualization is a way to help with that feeling. So if you breathe in and like the ocean waves, and you visualize the ocean waves and hear the ocean waves, it's the visualization helps to get to the subconscious layer, once again, into the feeling place so that you start to feel more relaxed and calmer. And then you can even create more of a higher frequency. For example, you take those waves and you start to visualize that it's energy that goes out to a lot of people. And then when it comes back in, there's a lot more energy coming to you. And that might look like more roles. That might look like more customers, more clients. And then you've got to give out energy and bring in, so it's the ebb and the flow. And when you start using that visualization, it starts to soothe the anxiety, the worry, and then you can go into a more peaceful state. And then you can even activize it more by magnetizing it, going into higher feelings such as joy. And when you go into, you know, so what's a better feeling thought than, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. And that next better it's not about jumping into like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and then, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Got it.
That's too far of a leap for the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is going to go, yeah, right. Right? And it's going to fight, resist, and what resists, persists.
Exactly. We've all heard that one. Exactly. Yeah.
So you want to go, oh, okay, so I really, you know, feel inadequate in this moment. But you know, I'm giving it my best shot right now.
Got it.
I'm trying, and I see myself shining and sharing my gifts for everybody to see, and I'm allowing myself to see what happens. And then you just jump up in feeling.
This is good. This is so great. You guys, you're getting gold here. Gold and diamonds are falling out of Barbara's mouth. I hope you realize that. So, Barbara, we're going to wrap this up for now because I've got the wonderful opportunity to keep her here, and we've got her next week, guys. So I'm so excited about that. So, Barbara, in the meantime, though, I know you're here next week with us, but in the meantime, if people want to get a hold of you, do you have a website or a phone number, or if you want to also just mention your book quickly, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Well, you can learn more about me and my book at www.truelovetrueself.com. I also have designed an affirmation vessel.
Oh, cool.
And that is also on my site. And that's, you know, you put your notes inside.
Got it.
And this is a tool to the subconscious mind. It's an anchor to remind yourself to tell yourself the truth. It's time to stop the lies.
Oh, this is so good.
And you can also email me at barbara@barbaradoust.com.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Pleasure.
This is so exciting. And she will be here again next week. So that's it, everybody. We're signing off. Suzanne Lyons here. See you next time.